welcome to my channel. Bienvenidos. I wanted to take a breather and take a step back from all of the moving chaos and the home stuff, and I wanted to sit down and do a good old makeup video today. I am going to be showing you a very Marie J, a very Sabrina type of look, and I'm gonna do I'm calling this like a cinnamon spice foundation routine because it's so fall. It's minimal, which I love. It's like my go-to signature look. It's minimal, but I added a burnt orange lip, and we have like very orangey bronzy skin, and I just love these types of looks. Now this is catered more towards fall time because of the products that I use. I don't know about you guys, but my skin tends to get a little bit more combination around this time of the year, when normally I'm a lot more oily. So around this time of the year, I like to use more like hydrating stuff and more moisturizing products because my skin does a lot better that way. So that is kind of catered to that. I did also want to mention that we have a sponsor for today's video, and I'm working with Japonesque to show you how I use some of their brushes in my routine today. I'm more so focusing on complexion in this video, complexion application and foundation. So I'm going to be using more of their complexion stuff, but I did want to mention that they are working with me for this video, and we are doing a giveaway together, which is really nice. I'm going to talk more so about that at the end of the video, but I hope you guys are excited for this. All of the products will be listed down below, and let's go ahead and get started. First things first, right off the bat, if you want to have like amazing looking skin and like flawless makeup and all of that stuff, it all starts with skincare and skin prep and taking care of your skin in general. And I'm like always highlighting this because it's really important, especially me. I have oily, acne prone skin, so I have to be on top of it. Last night I did an exfoliator to kind of prep my skin. I like to do an exfoliator maybe like once or twice a week. I don't do it too much. And then this morning I did go in with my cleanser and with my moisturizer. I kind of kept it a little bit simple. I am using new skincare stuff, so once we're kind of settled in and all of that, I want to do an updated skincare routine or like a morning routine. But after that, even after my skincare routine, I prep my skin even more using some kind of a primer. I do like to use more moisturizing ones, or I still use a pore minimizing one here and there. What I don't use anymore are mattifying primers. They just dry my skin out. Even though I have oily skin, they're just too much, and it makes my makeup look kind of dry and flaky. I used to be all about them, but not anymore. So for today, I'm going to use a pore minimizing one, just a little bit right here on my cheeks because that's where I have my larger pores. Not sure if you guys are able to see, but that kind of just smoothed out this area. Then I will still go in with a hydrating one. Sometimes I'll just use a pore minimizing, and sometimes I'll just use hydrating. I'm always switching it up. So for today, I am going to do a little bit of both, and I'm going to take, this is actually more of a skincare item, but it's a coconut skin smoothie priming moisturizer. So it's a primer and a moisturizer in one. I'm taking about that much and putting that more so around the perimeter of my face. I finally got the chance to go and do my nails and do my eyebrows and do my lashes. I was feeling so kind of like crazy for a while there because obviously we've been like doing stuff in here, and I was like, I'm gonna take today to kind of pamper myself, and I went to go do all of that. So my skin is already nice and prepped. I could go in with a little bit more of like hydration. I'm trying to look for like good serums and stuff that make my skin look really glowy before putting on my makeup, but I'm scared, you know, that something's gonna break me out. So what I'm gonna do instead is just put a little bit of radiance primer just on the high points of my face to give me a little bit more of a glow. Let me let this dry up for a little bit, and then I am gonna go in with a full coverage foundation. If you don't have acne scars like me, let me get up close here. I do have some scarring and stuff like that, so I prefer a full coverage foundation. But if you don't have hardly any blemishes, you can go in with a light to medium coverage one. Since sponges tend to shear out foundations, I like to go full coverage. I start with a little bit and then I just kind of build it up. So This is the one that I'm using for today, and I'm just pumping some on the back of my hand. What I do first is I apply the foundation where I have the most blemishes, scarring, and stuff like that. So I just sweep it on. And by the way, this is my Japonesque 708 brush. This brush specifically is very dense and like jam-packed, as you can see. So it's a little bit more difficult to completely buff out, which is why I like to go in with a sponge afterward. But this one I like to use for initial application, and then I'll just start to tap the product in, but not so much blending and just kind of putting it in place, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna tap it where I want it and where I'm trying to have the most coverage. And then from there, what I do is I go in with a sponge. I use this, I've seen a lot of people use this method too, first going in with the brush and then finishing off with the sponge. This sponge right here does start off small. This came in like a little set, but they have these two. It first starts off like this small, and then it expands when you wet it. It's gonna make it more skin-like. It takes off any excess product, as you can see, but it doesn't pick up too much, which I like about this sponge. You can see that even though I'm tapping it in place, I'm buffing it in, it's not soaking up too much of the foundation, so it's still gonna leave me with a little bit of that coverage that I like. I don't like when sponges take, there's like construction going on. I don't like when sponges take up all the foundation I just put on my skin. It's kind of like counterproductive. So I like this one for that reason. And of course I'm using whatever is left and just bringing it down to my neck to make sure that it all kind of matches. So now we can move on to concealer. And this one right here is another full coverage one, so I only use a little bit. So I just literally a dot there, and a dot there. With this one, it dries up super fast, so you do not need to wait. You can literally go in right away and just blend it all in. I mean, you can wait if you want to, but it's gonna, trust me, even with a sponge, if you let it dry down, it's a little bit hard to kind of blend. So I just do it right away. Cool. And now I have a nice even base. You can see it's like nice and flawless, and it looks very airbrushed. I'm not done there yet though. I still have to go in with bronzer and stuff to kind of bring my skin back to life. But for now, I think my skin looks pretty good and full coverage. Now I'm gonna go in with some powder, my trusty translucent setting powder, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this on the lid and do the good old sponge to the powder method here, but I'm not letting it bake. It's just my preference. It still lasts me all day long, even if I don't bake. But what I do is just press it all into my skin right away rather than letting it sit. A little tip, if you, like, this happens to me almost every time I wear makeup, but I find that if I go in with a small like eyeshadow brush, this is the Japonesque, it doesn't have a number, but it came in a set of 4. This is the Velvet Touch Eye Essential set. So right here, I'll take something like this size or even a little bit smaller, and why does it look like I'm like super, let me adjust the lighting. I think that's a little better. So I'll take a brush like this, I was gonna say a sponge, a brush, and I will sweep off any product or buildup that's around my nose. Sometimes I go in and accidentally put too much product there, and that's when it starts to crease and cake up. So I just go in and literally just right there, and that minimizes it just a little tiny bit. I do want to go in with a little bit, I want to do cream bronzer. I usually do this step before my powder, but I kind of did it reverse. So we're just gonna go in with this very lightly and put it on the temples. For bronzer, I'm gonna use this one right here in the shade Tanned and Gorgeous. It's a little bit darker for me, I wanted the shade below this, but they didn't have it in stock, so I just got this one. But I'm just gonna use that real quick to set my bronzer in place. This right here is my basic foundation routine. From here I'll throw on my brows real quick, put on a lip gloss, and I can just walk out. So this is a good base for me for like every day. It's like nice and bronzy. It's simple, but it's still put together, and you can see my skin looks very flawless, even though I have like pigmentation and acne scarring and a little bit of redness. It still looks like my skin, it matches very well. It's not like too much going on or anything like that. So from here you can add anything else. I just wanted to show you like kind of the basics, but you can add a little bit of blush, a little bit of highlight, and I think I'm gonna do that as well and kind of show you what the completed look looks like afterwards, and I'll put the products in the description. But I wanted to give you just a good basic, quick, a few steps, flawless foundation routine. Let me go ahead and finish up, and then I'll come back on with my brows and everything and kind of talk more so about my complexion and kind of the finished look. One thing I forgot to do before removing this headband is to set everything in place. And I like this headband because it kind of covers my hair in the front when I have it straightened, and it doesn't, you know, wet my hair. So I ended up doing just a little bit of blush, very subtle highlight, not too much, you know, going on, but mostly just blush. And then I did go ahead and do my eyebrows, and I did clean up my brows with one of the Japonesque brushes as well. I actually cleaned them up very nicely. This was my first time using this specific brush, and I do like it. It's a little bit longer than what I normally use for cleaning up my brows, but it did the job very well. It's like more flexible. So now we can set it all in place, and I'm just going to use this photo finish setting spray. And you can go in with something that's more like hydrating and dewy, kind of like the one I used before applying my makeup. This is more of a skincare product, or you can go in with something that just like locks it in place, which today I want it to just lock in place. And the key with setting spray, as much as I want to go in and just like, it's, to me, I find it to be better when I just do 1 to 2 sprays. It doesn't start dripping down my skin. It doesn't mess up my foundation. It just gives me a nice even spritz layer all over my face. A few sprays and I'm good to go. Just for the sake of hydrated skin, I'm just gonna bless my skin real quick. But there you have it. Now we have a very flawless base, very airbrushed and like perfect for the fall time. We have nice and, you know, cinnamon bronzy skin with a nice burnt orange lip, which is perfect for fall. Not just the look of it though, the feel of it as well, because I used a lot more hydrating stuff this time around, which is perfect for fall time, even for winter time, because like I said earlier, at least my skin tends to get more combination, a little bit more dry here and there around this time of the year, and I know a lot of you guys experience that as well. So I try to use more hydrating stuff. That is how I get like a full coverage airbrush look that's gonna last me all day long, but without it looking cakey and flaky for, you know, the colder months. I am going to have literally every single thing that I use listed in the description box. The brushes, the sponges, the makeup products, the shades, everything like that's going to be below in case you want to screenshot and go shop, or I'll also put links too, so it's easy for you guys to shop. But now let's talk about this giveaway. So this giveaway is actually going to go down over on my Instagram a few days from the day that I post this video, so you guys have some time to go over there and follow me. But it's going to be very simple. You just have to be following me and Japonesque over on Instagram, and then when I post the photo of me using the brushes, and then in the caption it'll say, you know, it's a giveaway, you will just tag 2 friends. I'll put the rules as well in the description box, but just make sure to follow me there. If you follow me, It'll pop up on your feed and you will see it. If you enter, you have the chance of winning their eye essentials set, which you can use for like eyeshadow, your eyebrows and stuff like that. You also get this brush right here, which I've used a lot before as well. It has a very cool like shape to it, but this is great for foundation. You will win one of these. You will also win their complexion set. So you can use this for cream contour, you can use it for underneath your eyes, you can even use it for foundation, stuff like that. And this I use for my brows, but this comes in a set. So you will win all of these on top of the 2 sponges as well. This also comes in a set. So if you want to enter, make sure to follow me on my Instagram. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it was a little bit informative. And I feel super fall-like, but so Sabrina at the same time. It's more simple and bronzy and minimal with like a little bold lip, which I love, and I feel like that's like my signature. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. A huge thank you to Japonesque for sponsoring today's video and for hosting the giveaway over on my Instagram. Don't forget to go ahead and head over there. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I love you all, los quiero mucho, and I will see you all in my next video.